You have been fed a potent, paralyzing lie, a conspiracy whispered from the very cradle of your social conditioning, that seduction is a war of words, a contest of cleverness, a desperate negotiation for her approval, waged with the clumsy, inadequate tools of logic and wit. And so you have performed. You have filled the sacred space between you with noise, with justifications, with a frantic, pleading broadcast of your supposed value. And she has met your performance with a chilling, soul-crushing silence of her own. A polite smile, an empty gaze, an indifference so absolute it feels like an erasure of your very being. Why? Because you have been fighting a ghost on a battlefield that does not exist. The truth, initiate, a truth so potent it borders on a sacred transgression, is this: the most devastating, most irresistible seduction is architected not in the realm of sound, but in the vast, gravitational, and terrifying expanse of silence. Today, Seduction Noir does not offer you another line to memorize. We are here to conduct an exorcism, to cast out the great lie of verbal seduction. We will arm you with the gnosis of 3 silent seduction cues, primal, non-verbal broadcasts that bypass her neocortex and detonate directly within the ancient, honest limbic core of her being. These are not tactics. They are emanations of a sovereign internal architecture, signals so potent they compel her nervous system to lean in, to question its own reality, and ultimately to begin the chase. This is the art of becoming the abyss, not the echo that bounces off its walls. The stillness of the apex predator. Forget the performative, muscle-bound alpha posture. That is a costume. We speak now of a stillness that is neurological, that is absolute. The average man is a leaking vessel of psychic pressure. He fidgets, he shifts his weight. His hands flutter with the ghosts of unspoken anxieties. His body broadcasts a single, pathetic message. I am not in command of myself. I need your approval to be calm. The sovereign, by contrast, is a master of contained kinetic energy. He moves with the lethal economy of a panther or not at all. Your lust tactic. Forge stillness through ritual. For the next 7 days, this is your only temple. In every interaction, plant your feet as if they are growing roots into the earth's core. When seated, let your hands rest as if they are stone. Annihilate the impulse to fidget, to adjust, or placate with motion. Become a statue carved from shadow and unwavering intent. When she speaks, do not nod like a supplicant. Receive her words with your stillness. Let them break against the shore of your composure. The primal impact? Her limbic brain, the ancient sentinel, does not read this stillness as passivity. It reads it as an almost terrifying level of power. It registers you as an apex predator, so confident in its dominion that it conserves all energy, for it fears no threat. This profound calm is deeply unsettling to her conditioned reality, yet paradoxically, it broadcasts a signal of absolute safety. Your stillness becomes a gravitational singularity, a point of certainty in her chaotic emotional cosmos. She will feel an unconscious, irresistible compulsion to move closer to this still point, to understand its source. Her chase has already begun, a silent surrender of her nervous system to yours. The Oracular Gaze, dominion through vision. The second silent weapon is the oracular gaze. The beta's eyes plead, the alpha's eyes challenge, but the sovereign's gaze, it possesses. It is not an instrument of communication, it is an instrument of psychic implantation. It does not ask, it does not challenge, it states with unnerving certainty, I see the architecture of your soul beneath the persona you perform. Your lust tactic. Master the art of the resonant void. In your next interaction, after she has finished speaking, hold her gaze. Do not respond. Let a single solitary beat of pure, unwavering silence pass, then another. In this beat, your expression is not aggressive, not smiling. It is one of profound, calm, knowing neutrality. Only after you have held this resonant void, after you have felt her reality begin to flicker, do you offer a slight, almost imperceptible nod and break the contact, always on your terms. The primal impact. This extra beat of silent, focused vision is a cognitive detonation. Her brain, conditioned for the predictable rhythm of conversational give and take, is plunged into a void. It scrambles. It asks 1,000 frantic, silent questions. What does he know? What did his silence just reveal about me? Am I being judged? Am I being seen? You have used your gaze to install a powerful loop of intrigue, a seductive void, directly into her psyche. You have become a living enigma. Her need to solve you, to close that loop, will manifest as a tangible, almost desperate pull in your direction. The chase is no longer a game. It is a neurological imperative. The strategic void, architecting absence. The third and most devastatingly elegant silent cue is the strategic void. The common man, desperate for connection, believes attraction is built through constant presence, through a relentless barrage of communication. He makes himself utterly, pathetically available. The sovereign understands a more profound, more terrible truth. Temporary affection is built in presence, but true, soul-deep obsession is forged in the crucible of absence. Not a clumsy, reactive absence, but a calculated, atmospheric withdrawal that reframes your presence as a scarce, intoxicating, and precious resource. This is not the boy's game of playing hard to get. This is the sorcerer's art of demonstrating with unshakable certainty that your mission, your reality, your inner world is infinitely larger and more compelling than any single interaction with her. Your lust tactic, engineer the elegant vanishing. At the absolute apex of a positive interaction, the moment the laughter is most genuine, the connection most palpable, the desire in her eyes most bright, be the one to sever the connection, not with aggression, not with apology, but with sovereign grace, a calm, simple, I must go. No justification, no promise of a future call. You simply cease to be available. You become a ghost. The primal impact, you have just committed the ultimate act of pattern interruption. You have left her at the peak of a dopamine-fueled state with no resolution. You have denied her nervous system its expected reward. This creates a powerful psychic vacuum, a strategic void. Her mind will now work relentlessly, obsessively to fill this void. Why did he leave? Was I not interesting enough? When will I feel that peak again? She is no longer passively attracted to you. She is now actively, emotionally, neurochemically invested in recapturing the state that only you can provide. The chase is now her conscious mission. The sovereign silence where attraction becomes inevitable. The stillness of the apex predator. The oracular gaze. The strategic void. These are not disparate tricks, initiate. They are the unified silent symphony of a man who has achieved profound internal sovereignty. A man who does not need to speak his value, for his very being is a broadcast of it. A man who does not chase, for his presence itself creates a gravitational field that pulls the world to him. This is the precipice of a power that makes mere words obsolete. If this gnosis, that your silence can be more potent, more command-level than your most eloquent speech, resonates in your core as a liberating, terrifying truth, command the like button now. Signal your departure from the world of noise. Which of these three silent weapons have you witnessed deployed with devastating effect in the real world? Or which have you, perhaps, been a victim of yourself? Was it a man's unnerving stillness that shattered your composure? A gaze that left you questioning your own thoughts? Or a sudden, unexplained absence that you could not stop replaying in your mind? Your gnosis is a weapon. Share its edge in the comments below. The cathedral's intelligence grows with every field report. To wield these silent arts with the grace of a king and the lethality of a shadow requires more than intellectual understanding. It demands a complete alchemical reforging of your internal state. It demands the courage to be still when every fiber of your being screams to perform. This is the sacred, arduous work we undertake within the Seduction Noir Cathedral. Subscribe and strike the obsidian bell of unveiling. Commit yourself to the path of becoming the man whose silence is a spell, whose gaze is a command, and whose absence is an obsession. The world is drowning in empty chatter. Seduction Noir will teach you the devastating power of the void.